Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Joyful Noise, our weekly live stream sing-along by Santa UMC. I'm Kyle Rowan, our music director. Glad to have you with me today. And this weekend, as you may or may not know, this Sunday is Pentecost, the day that the Holy Spirit came down to the apostles and to everyone, really. And so we're going to do a bunch of Pentecost songs today, so I hope you're excited and for that. So some of these are songs that we've done over the course of the last year, but some of them may be new as well. So without further ado, let's get into some Pentecost music today. And as is often the case, if there's a big day in the church, then we've got a hymn by Charles Wesley to celebrate it. And so we're going to start with one such hymn. This is number 541, See How Great a Flame Aspires. We've got words by Charles Wesley, music arranged by Carlton Young from a Welsh hymn melody. And this text was written perhaps inspired by Charles's own conversion on Pentecost. And he felt like he had a conversion experience on Pentecost, and then about 10 years later, he wrote this hymn. It was first published in the collection Hymns and Sacred Poems of 1749, and the story goes that although John Wesley often would make edits to Charles's texts in the final published versions of things, this one was not seen by John before it was published. This particular collection of hymns was apparently published in order to satisfy Charles's future mother-in-law, who insisted that he have a income of about £100 annually before he would be allowed to marry her daughter and his eventual wife, Sarah. The text has been used with a number of tunes, the most recent of which in our hymnal is Our Fan, based on a Welsh tune, and harmonized in 1966 by Carlton Young, who would later be the editor of the full United Methodist hymnal. So here we've got See How Great a Flame Aspires. See how great a flame aspires, kindled by a spark of grace. Jesus' love the nation's fires, sets the kingdoms on a blaze. To bring fire on earth he came, kindled in some hearts it is. Oh, that all might catch the flame, all partake the glorious bliss. When he first the work begun, small and feeble was his day. Now the word doth swiftly run, now it wins its winding way. More and more it spreads and grows, ever mighty to prevail. Sin strongholds it now o'erthrows, shakes the trembling gates of hell. Saints of God, your prayer praise, who the door hath opened wide. He hath given the word of grace, Jesus' word is givified. Jesus mighty to redeem, who alone the work hath wrought. Worthy is the work of him who spake a world from naught. Saw ye not the cloud arise, hurtle as a human hand? Now it spreads along the skies, hangs o'er all the thirsty land. Oh, the promise of a shower, drop already from above. But the Lord will shortly pour all the Spirit of his love. All right. Once again, that was 541. See how great a flame aspires. That one, my music software here was trying to keep me in the dark of some measures. I had to guess on some words before it showed up before me. So once again, it's a hymn by Charles Wesley. Then we're gonna go into the hymnal again to another hymn that I really like, and where that one is very traditional in terms of its text, in terms of its musical setting. We're going to go to this one, 538, Wind Who Makes All Winds That Blow. This is one that we did, I don't remember when, but I've done it here one time. This is music by Carol Duran and words by Thomas Traeger. They're a hymn writing partner, mid to late 20th century, and they wrote a number of hymns specifically to cover a lot of Bible texts that did not have hymns associated with them. So while this one is for Pentecost, of course, and there's many texts and hymns for Pentecost, they've done a number of other hymns to kind of fill in the blanks, so to speak. And so this one's got a much more kind of contemporary, modern contemporary feeling to it. So while it's still very much tonal and has a singable melody and everything, some of the harmonies may be a little bit more adventurous than a lot of hymns in our hymnal tend to get. So I hope you like it. I really like this one. This is Wind Who Makes All Winds That Blow.
Wind who makes all winds that blow, gusts that bend the sapling low, gales that weave the sea in waves, stirrings in the mind's deep waves. Aim your breath with steady power on your church this day, this hour. Raise, renew the life we lost, Spirit God of Pentecost. Fire who fuels all fires that burn, suns around which planets turn. Beacons marking reefs and shores, shining truth to guide our souls. Come to us as once you came, burst in tongues of sacred flame. Light and power, might and strength, fill your church, its breadth and length. Holy Spirit, wind and flame, move within our mortal frame. Make our hearts an altar pyre, kindle them with your own fire. Pray and blow upon that blaze, still our lives, our deed and ways. Speak that tongue which every land by your grace shall understand.
All right. Once again, that was number 538, Wind Who Makes All Winds That Blow. I think it's just a really interesting and different kind of hymn, especially harmonically. I really like the music of that one. All right, the next one we're gonna stick around in the hymnal a bit. This one we've got two short hymns that I've put together. There's just the way they're not in the same key, but it's interesting. The one in D at the beginning here, 543, "O Breath of Life," and then 544, they're back to back in the hymnal, "Like the Murmur of the Dove Song." In the part towards the end of 544, we've got a nice D major chord in the middle of the phrase that helps set up the final cadence, and so it bridges nicely with "O Breath of Life" somehow. So just to talk about these two a little bit, Bessie Ann Porter, or Bessie Porter Head, her married name, was born in Belfast, and we don't was involved in the YWCA and served mission in South Africa in Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, and Johannesburg. And she wrote a number of sacred poems, but the one that's kind of remembered and most used since then is this one, "O Breath of Life," with music by David Ashley White. And then 544, Carl P. Daw is an Episcopal priest, and this hymn was a hymn for Pentecost inspired by a text by Louis Evely, who said that, quote, "The image of the dove was not chosen because of the shape of the bird, but because of the moan. The dove murmurs all the time. It is because the Holy Spirit moans all the time that he is represented under the form of a dove. It is a verbal and not a plastic image." And so I hope you like these. This is 543, "O Breath of Life," running right into 544, "Like the Murmur of the Dove Song."
Oh, breath of life, come sweeping through us. Revive your church with life and power. Oh, breath of life, come cleanse, renew us, and fit your church to meet this hour. Oh, wind of God, come bend us, break us, till humbly we confess our need. Then in your tenderness remake us, revive, restore, for this we plead. Oh, breath of life, come breath within us, renewing thought and will and heart. Come, love of Christ, afresh to win us. Revive your church in every part. Like the murmur of the dove's song, like the challenge of her flight, like the vigor of the wind's rush, like the new flame's eager might. Come, Holy Spirit, come to the members of Christ's body, to the branches of the vine, to the church in faith assembled, to her midst as gift and sign. Come, Holy Spirit, come with the healing of division, with the ceaseless voice of prayer, with the power to love and witness, with the peace beyond compare. Come, Holy Spirit.
Excuse me. All right, so that was number 543 and 544 together, back to back there. I hope you enjoyed that short combination. All right, so let's see what next. We're going to go now, jump over from the hymnal to The Faith We Sing. And we're going to do number 2117. This is Spirit of God, words and music by Steve Garnis Holmes. Garnis Holmes is a Methodist pastor in New Hampshire, I want to say. and Concord, New Hampshire, and previously in Montana. And he writes music and liturgical materials for his own church. And this song was published in Faith We Sing. And there's a little note he wrote about it, and he's got a long little thing about this song, but just one little paragraph that I thought would be interesting to read to you. He said, "In writing Spirit of God, I was intentional about addressing God directly as you. I do in nearly all my songs and hymns. I believe that God is always present, therefore, though theologically we can talk about God, and although we may speak of the three persons, spiritual, it is impossible to talk of God in the third person as if God were not in the room. We can't talk about God without talking to God. There are many names for God, but the most honest is you," or as Martin Buber would say, "thou." And so with that in mind, let's sing Spirit of God, number 2117.
Spirit of God, bright wind, breath that bids life begin, blow as you always do, create us anew. Give us the breath to sing, lifted on soaring wing, held in your hands, borne on your wings. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Spirit of God, bright dove, grant us your peace and love, healing upon your wings for all living things. For when we live your peace, captives will find release, held in your hands, borne on your wings. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Spirit of God, bright hands, even in far-off lands, you hold all the human race in one warm embrace. No matter where we go, you hold us together so, held in your hands, borne on your wings. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Spirit of God, bright flame, send us in your holy name the power to heal, to share your love everywhere. We cannot fail or fall or know defeat at all, held in your hands, borne on your wings. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Alleluia, come, Spirit, come. Spirit of God, in all we gladly hear your call, the life in our hands that sings the power of your wings. Born of your grace we rise, love shining in our eyes, held in your hands, born on your wings. Alleluia, come Spirit, come. Alleluia, come Spirit, come.
All right, once again, that was number 2117, Come, Spirit of God by Steve Garnis Holmes. All right, the next song we're going to do today, and you know what I'm going to do is, because I can, I'm gonna drop the key here just a little bit. Make this a little bit easier on my voice today. This is Holy Spirit by Brian and Katie Torwalt. This is a very familiar song. We've done it a ton in this church and a bunch of others. This is a song of invitation for the Spirit, and we'll be doing this on Sunday as well. So I hope you like it. This is Holy Spirit by Brian and Katie Torwalt.
There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, when my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, when my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
All right. So once again, that was Holy Spirit by Brian and Katie Torwalt. All right. Thank you once again for being with me this week. Just as a programming note, originally I was planning on taking next week off, but I think I'm going to push through. I'm going to do next week and the week following, and then I'll be off on the 11th because that is my daughter's last day of school this year, and I want to make sure I have that free to celebrate with her. But in any case, so next week will be just as normal, and the following week. And so if you have any requests, get them in, kyle@santaumc.org. Look forward to those. And today, instead of our usual closing, I thought we'd do a kind of a Pentecost theme, upbeat kind of number for our closing today. So we're going to do Breathe on Us, a song by Carrie Job. And one we've done a lot at the church as well. So I hope you like it. Thanks again. And here is Breathe on Us.
There is a shaking, let hearts awaken. Our God is moving, forever changing us. There is a trembling, there is revival, the sound of worship, so great and glorious. Holy Spirit, hear us now. Breathe on us, holy fire fall. Come and fill this place with your presence. Like a rushing wind, send your spirit here. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. There is a shaking, let hearts awaken. Our God is moving, forever changing us. There is a trembling, there is revival, the sound of worship, so great and glorious. Holy Spirit, hear us now. Breathe on us, holy fire fall. Come and fill this place with your presence. Like a rushing wind, send your spirit here. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Come breathe on us. Come breathe on us. Come breathe on us. Lift up your hands and shout. The Lord is with us now. Lift up your voice and sing. He is holy. Lift up your hands and shout. The Lord is with us now. Lift up your voice and sing. He is holy. Lift up your hands and shout. The Lord is with us now. Lift up your voice and sing. He is holy. Lift up your hands and shout. The Lord is with us now. Lift up your voice and sing. He is holy. Breathe on us, holy fire fall. Come and fill this place with your presence. Like a rushing wind, send your spirit here. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Breathe on us, holy fire fall. Come and fill this place with your presence. Like a rushing wind, send your spirit here. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Breath of heaven, breathe on us. Come breathe on us. Come breathe on us. Come breathe on us.
All right. Once again, thank you for being with me this week, like every week, and I'll be here again next week. See many of you at worship on Sunday in the parking lot for Pentecost, and have a great week, and God bless you all.